Live. We're live right now. Okay, that's cool. Okay, they won't let me do that. Are we live? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, y'all. Okay. Couldn't do live on LinkedIn, but anyway, y'all. It's all right. We will be back. We're a couple of minutes early, but that's all right. My guests are very professional. I'm going to play my interlude, and then we'll get on with the story. Okay, here we go. That's right. We're on live. We're gonna get this thing live. We're gonna get this thing one way or another. One way or another. What's up to y'all? What's up to y'all? Welcome. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yep, hear you fine.
All right. Can you see me? Am I good?
Yep, you're looking good.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Bob. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. I have a very, very, very exciting topic today, and you're gonna love it. I'm gonna love it, and everybody else out there is gonna love it. Before I get into all of that, the music that you're hearing in the background has been provided by SOB Music, and the title of the song is entitled "No Time." A little African, Afro-Rican type beat, and I love it, and I'm quite sure y'all gonna love it as well. But at any rate, let me get into the topic at hand, and well. Let me do this. Let me do my interlude, and then we're gonna get into all the good things that I have brought you all to check out. Welcome to Third Eye Visions, y'all, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kind. Today's topic: creating income or job opportunities for the blind and visually impaired. Today, I am happy to have White Cane Coffee, the founders, the creators of White Cane Coffee, with Aaron, and Bob, to speak with you about their venture. Before I do that, I'm going to play a little clip that she has, we have from last time, because they were on the show, and I want to get a little update on how they're doing and what have you. And you're going to love this, because I'm very excited about the fact that a young blind woman has created her own lane. And I've always said, if people don't want to hire us for whatever reason or not, that's their business. Then we create our own lane. So let me play this video clip, and we'll be back with our guest. Let's see how we. Okay, technology is always something. We're gonna get it together.
You need to get a production crew.
Exactly. But we're gonna get it.
I was diagnosed with a disease, which basically meant that my brain was constantly going 100 miles per hour. And so it's like with the computer, if you have so many tabs open, certain things won't work as well. For me, it took out my vision. So I only have 5% of my vision left.
Okay. Go ahead, Nicole. Go ahead, Nicole.
So what sparked you
for the
White
idea
King
of
Coffee?
White King Coffee?
That is such a beautiful name. I've never would have thought to do that.
Well, it actually
It
started
actually
on me
started
having a
on me
bad
having a
day.
bad day. I mean,
I was
I was
frustrated with
frustrated
the
with
whole.
the whole.
Well, it's
Well,
hard for
it's hard
people with
for people with
disabilities to
disabilities
get
to
jobs
get
just
jobs
because
just
they'll
because
find out you're
they'll
disabled
find
and
out
just
you're
like,
disabled and just
yeah,
like,
we're not going to
yeah,
hire
we're not
you.
going to
And
hire
so
you. And
I was
so
frustrated
I was
with that. And
frustrated with
so
that.
me and
And
my
so
dad,
me
we
and
were
my
just
dad, we were just
riffing off of each
riffing
other,
off
just
of
like,
each other, just
well,
like,
if you could
well, if you
start
could
something, what
start
would you
something, what would
do?
you do?
And
And
that day we just
that day we just
decided,
decided,
why not
why
coffee?
not
I mean,
coffee? I
it's
mean,
something that
it's
people
something
drink
that people
every
drink
day.
every
It's
day.
something
It's
that's so
something that's so
ingrained into our
ingrained into our
culture.
culture.
And along with it,
And along with it,
why don't we
why don't we
hire people with
people with
disabilities
disabilities
and pay them a
and
fair
pay them a
wage?
fair wage?
All right. Okay. Okay. How did y'all enjoy that clip? That was good for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back with Aaron and Bob. And I want to get an update on how everything has been going. Now, again, they are the founders and creators of White Cane Coffee. It doesn't matter. I guess we'll start with Aaron. Aaron, what have y'all been up to as far as the last time I have spoken with y'all?
Well, we have a physical shop now,
Okay.
which we didn't have last time we had worked with you. We had been actually selling coffee out of our own home. Now we have a physical shop, so that's been interesting. We've hired more people. We're up to about 8 or 9 employees. So,
Okay. All right.
anything you can think of?
You want to add anything, Bob?
Yeah, well, like I said, in the time frame from when we were with you before, our sales have increased roughly 400%. Year to year growth right now. We managed to survive, the shutdown due to the coronavirus, and that only because we adapted very quickly. Because, well, that's kind of what companies that deal with the blind and disabled have to do. Is we're all experts in adaptation. So, when people said, "Oh, you need to adapt," I was like, "Okay, we can do that." So we're still shipping all over the United States, but even here locally, what we did is we started doing free porch deliveries. People would order their coffee and we would deliver it right to their porch, so they didn't have to come out. There was no contact between anyone, and we were able to continue moving right on.
Okay.
And now our coffee is being sold in several stores in Pennsylvania, and then there's a store in New Jersey and a store down in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Down in St. Augustine that carries our coffee.
Okay, so if y'all in those particular areas, y'all need to definitely support White Cane Coffee. And I wanted to ask y'all the name White Cane Coffee, Aaron. How did you come up with the name, and why did you come up with the name, and what have you?
It's actually sort of an inside joke, because anytime I would try to get hired, all they would ever see is my white cane and what I couldn't do. So now with White Cane Coffee, they're going to see exactly what my white cane can do.
I love that. I mean, you using, and for those who don't know, blind people who have canes, it's a white cane that they have, and then she took it and assimilated with her particular product, and I think that's very good marketing. Don't you think, Bob?
Oh, I mean, that was part of the whole thing. There was the whole thing is people only ever see Aaron's white cane. They never saw her, and so she's absolutely right. So even on the logo is it's a grayed out young woman with her white cane, because that was the whole thing is people never see the blind person. All they ever see is the white cane. They don't see her skill set. They don't see what she brings to the table.
Okay.
And so that was our way of sitting there saying, yes, blind people and people with disabilities do matter. They do count, and are an asset to any company if given the opportunity to work for them.
And we even do that when we're at the shop, we're hiring new people, just like, okay, we're just going to get this out of the way right now. What is your disability and how can we work around that? Like, what are you good at and how can we work with it. So say someone is very perfection oriented, they can label very well, or
even in the quality assurance aspect. So if they have a high attention to detail, they're making sure the boxes are packaged right, the labeling is done right, everything is done in a very specific nature.
Okay.
Now, if someone has a disability where they only have one arm, okay, so that means we can now set up their workstation to maximize that area for them, so they don't have to fight the workspace. The workspace works for them.
Wow. I just got a comment from someone. We are live right now, speaking with the founders of White Cane Coffee. Clint Jacobs, who's becoming one of my biggest supporters now. He said he tried some of y'all's coffee and they didn't like it. Not just playing. He said it's the bomb. He said he really enjoys it, and so y'all need to definitely check it out. As far as hiring of blind people and things of that nature, how has it been? Have y'all hired any a certain amount of blind people, or are y'all going to, or what's the situation on that?
I think we have 2 right now that are that are blind and visually impaired. We have some that have autism. We have some that have Down syndrome. So it's very diverse workforce.
Okay, that's a good thing, Eric, Aaron, and Bob, because not only I'm letting people know that not only do they hire just totally blind people, it's a mixture of people who have impairments as other impairments as well, and I'm quite sure you have some sighted people alongside them as well. Am I correct, Aaron?
absolutely.
Okay. Now, how much of a part do you play in it? Are you, Aaron? Are you the CEO, the founder? How dirty do you get your hands, quote unquote, if you may?
I'm in the store boxing and K cups just like everyone else. Yes, I help come up with ideas, but it's after I do interviews or talks with other people, I put my hair up and I get it's work just like everyone else.
Okay, so you handle your business. You don't just give orders from your big 15 20,000 feet office or anything like that, right?
No, that's definitely not the case here. I
Okay.
mean, where a lot of times Aaron doesn't give herself is Aaron is still the captain of the ship, if you'd like to put it that way.
Right.
She leads the direction, tells us where we need to go, what she wants to do,
Great.
and then the team comes together and makes it happen. And that's exactly what we want. Yes, Aaron does get right in the trenches with everyone else, but in a lot of ways, but when it comes down to major company decisions and what we're up to and where we want to go, then yes, that comes from her chair.
Okay, so Bob, her being your daughter, she gives you orders, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They refer to me as the executive assistant. I'm the one who drives her everywhere and makes things happen.
Okay. Now, another question I had wanted to ask. Oh, guys, it's slipped my mind. But before we go any further, tell everyone where you're located, where your physical plant is located, and what may be the criteria if y'all are interested. And I know things are slowed down due to the virus. If y'all what would be the criteria for individuals that you want to hire, that you plan to hire, and things of that nature?
Can I take this one?
Yeah, I'll take it. We're located in Warren, Pennsylvania. You can find us online at whitecanecoffee.com. That's white, WHITE, cane, CANE, coffee, COFFEE.com. People make their orders. We ship all over the United States. We are working on even more expansion here, hopefully within the next few months. With the coronavirus has slowed us down just a little bit in the expansion module, but we're still looking at that into other locations, not only here in Pennsylvania, but up in New York State and things like that, where it would actually be like a drive-through restaurant.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, look, y'all are doing some good deeds, because they just got a guy right here on live that's stated, and I'm gonna go back and forth and read comments, so it may take, we may be the interview may be a little longer. Said let him get it. He want a job. So, and this basically lets us know that due to the fact that it's a hard time trying to find employment as a blind person or persons who have other impairments, allow them the chance, to say that this is something that they can consider once y'all expand and what have you. So it's definitely a good deed that you're all doing. And I want to ask y'all, as far as the coffees and the different types and whatnot, tell the people about the different types that y'all have and what's the most popular type of coffee that y'all do distribute. Again, we're speaking with the founders of White Cane Coffee. Go ahead.
Well, we have a lot of blends. So what type of coffee we probably have it. We have more than I can count. Dad knows the numbers of it, but we have flavored coffees. We have recently come out with cold brew coffee for the nice hot summer months. So
yeah, we have 10 regular blends. Goes all the way from dark roast all the way up to a lighter roast, which is our high octane, your breakfast blend. One of our two probably top selling blends would be the Dragon's Roast, which is a full bodied coffee, and then our Lighthouse blend, which is we kind of named after the lighthouses for the blind. So it's our way of honoring the lighthouses and for the work they do in employing people who are blind and visually impaired.
Man,
but then we have a multitude of flavored coffees,
both in regular and decaf. So in case you want to have a cup of coffee after dinner, you're not going to be strung out for the rest of the night.
Okay, that's a good deal. So what before I move on, what is your best seller? Like what what do most people like to order the most?
Dragon's Roast, no question.
Yeah,
why?
It's definitely the Dragon's Roast.
Why is it?
We can't keep it on the shelves. As fast as we roast it, it goes out the door.
And we originally called it Dragon's Roast to actually sort of give homage to the Warren itself, because our school's mascot is the Warren Dragons. So it became that. Plus, when you're just dragging along through the day, sometimes you need a cup of Dragon's Roast. So
They started.
And plus it has just a touch more caffeine than your regular.
Okay. Now what do you like, Bob? And what do you like, Aaron, in that order?
Well, with me, I start my morning with the Dragon's Roast, and then I'll probably switch over the rest of the day either to the Lighthouse or even a straight Colombian. That's just me, but it changes up quite regularly. Aaron's pretty much more different than I am.
I do love I can switch really in between for my regulars, either the breakfast blend or not breakfast blend, sorry, donut shop or Colombian, or I will go straight to flavors.
Okay. Now, I know you all are planning on expanding and what have you to different states or to different areas. When is that going to take place? And do y'all ever have any plans of coming to the like the Louisiana region, Texas region? I know y'all said Florida, but Louisiana, Texas, and places like that. Go ahead.
Our thing is we are expanding. So I'd say within the next year, we're hoping to start expanding, not only like I said here in Pennsylvania, but to other states. The ultimate goal is, we've always said here, is we want to see a White Cane Coffee in every city in the United States. That's the goal.
Because if we're not finding jobs for disabled people in our community, what's it like for every other community? There's still disabled people not being hired. Right. So why can't we be as prevalent as Starbucks?
Man, right, that's what's up. And the guy, one of my commenters stated that once y'all brings a location to Seattle, so just keep that in mind.
That's a tough market out there in Seattle. They've got a coffee shop on every block, if not every other.
But they don't have a White Cane Coffee.
No, they do not. And also what makes a lot of differences is we're the only company that we know of in the United States that has Braille on all its packaging.
And
that makes a big difference in shopping experience for the blind.
You must have read my mind, because that was gonna be one of the questions that I was gonna ask you, and that's a unique thing, because it'll feel good to me to go to a shop or to go to a store and pick up a package of coffee and feel across the front, and they have Braille, and it makes me feel like I'm included, and it makes me feel that people are thinking about me. How does that feel to you, Aaron, in terms of you all collaborating and coming up with that fancy idea?
Well, it was always something that I wanted to do from the very beginning, because you go to a store and every soup can is the exact same. It's either chicken noodle or it's cream of mushroom. You don't know. So adding the Braille really does change things. And plus, when I can actually be on the storeroom floor and they're showing people what coffee we have. And for sighted people, it almost takes them aback for a second, because they're just like, wait, how does she know where everything is? It's because we set everything up. There's Braille on everything. I know my store because because we've set it up. So I know the store.
And look, that's a great idea. Bobby, you were fixing to say something?
Well, like I said, the key is, and it makes there, because in our store, we probably have over 60 different items for sale. And so someone who's blind can come in and they can shop just like everyone else does. They don't have to have a sighted person with them to do the most basic thing, which is shop for yourself. So we see that independence when they come in.
Do you know, and I know I may sound repetitious, but I'm excited about the fact that there is something like this that exists, and maybe there may be more things I haven't done my homework, but this White Can Coffee, I appreciate the fact that there is something like this that will hire blind people and people who have other impairments, and the fact that I've seen you all doing y'all things. They haven't just put this together and just, I hope it blows up. And that's why I want to do a follow-up, and I'm seeing the growth that y'all have done and that has taken place. My next question is, like, as far as blind people, what positions, when y'all hire blind people, what positions do y'all hire them for, or have y'all hired them for thus far?
Well, actually, it's all different stages of production, whether they're in the labeling department or making K-cups or making being able to bag, because all our machines are adapted. They're all they have safety devices, they have sound devices. Like, so if it's measuring out coffee, has different tones to let them know that the cup, the K-cup has the right amount of coffee in it. And then when they put it in the machine to be sealed, there's little buttons on them so the cup fits in there perfect and the lid fits in there perfect. So it takes all that out of the equation of the difficultiness.
Okay.
So
now
they're included in all and we try to keep moving them and learning all the different stations.
Okay.
Only because that helps with growth for them and for the company.
So with that, those particular, I'm gonna get to you, Clint. So with those particular positions that you were referring to, those are worked by blind people, totally blind people.
Absolutely. So that's the beauty of it, is we developed all our machinery to specifically for the blind in mind, and then those who are sighted or have different disabilities, it works for them too. So there's no differentiating on whoever we put behind them, whatever machine it is to work, it works for them. We adapt the workstation for the employee, not the other way around.
Okay, that's what's up, though. Clint Jacobs just said that he lives in Arizona. He'd be glad to help you all sell y'all's coffee. So I'm telling you, so people are interested in this whole idea of what you all are doing. So I'm gonna get you all's website and put it, in the link and whatnot. So if anyone is interested, you all can contact them and what have you. So with the expansion phase, how long again will you all is that going to take place?
The coronavirus has everybody kind of just in a semi position. That doesn't mean we've stopped. It just means we have to adapt a little bit different, because different, around here or whether it's New York, things like that. So we're still working on. So we're hoping that within a year to have several stores opened up, and then just to continue to grow from there. So like I said, we're looking at that 1, 5, and 10 year.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow growth, but it is going to grow.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask you. And Aaron, glad that you stated that. In a couple of years, where do you see your company? Maybe say 5 years from now, where do you see White King Coffee?
I do hope to see a White King Coffee in most states, if not all. If we don't at least have the East Coast down, what are we doing? We're wasting time.
Hmm. Okay. So have there been a lot of, and it's off the cuff, have there been a lot of your blind friends like, can you give me a job or can you hire me back quick? Or, they're patiently waiting, Erin.
There's actually not, I mean, there is a large blind community here in Warren itself.
Mhm.
But we never talk to each other. We never see each other. Well,
No pun intended.
yeah, no pun intended. But
I like that. Go
with
ahead.
the years, we have all sort of just stayed to ourselves. And you will have occasionally some come into the store, but it's always sort of in shock that there's something out there that is for them. But it's very strange. So I personally do not have a lot of blind friends just because here in Warren, we all sort of keep to ourselves, which is sort of sad.
Okay. Well, then being that that's the case, the majority of the people who work for y'all they're from different states. Where they're
Or
from?
no, they're from here, but they're just the community. There's roughly in Warren, Pennsylvania, there's roughly 30 blind people in Warren.
Wow.
Okay. Now up in Erie, where we're working with the Sight Center of Northwest Pennsylvania, they have 200 blind people in their community, and so we're working with them once again to expand because now we know we have a workforce. We have 200 people up in Erie, Pennsylvania, who are looking for work, and then we have Pittsburgh, where we're working with the school for the blind down there and helping them to develop their own businesses. And as we expand, once again, there's an employee base to pull from.
Right.
So that's where we're part of that logistical homework of ours is to find areas where easy accessibility, good transportation system. I mean, these are things that we have to look at. How are the employees going to get to and from work? If you set up a shop out in the middle of, rural town that has no public transportation there, now that this is going to become a difficulty for them. And that's what we don't want to happen. We want to have all that logistics in place before we set up.
That's real talk. That's real talk. And I want to ask you about, while we're on the same token, what have you seen as far as, I know your daughter's vision impaired. What have you seen that kind of like got behind, like the help when she lit the torch? You kind of like got behind her and said, "Yeah, this would be a good idea." As far as blind people not being able to be employed, what kind of inspired you to? I mean, let me say this: Have you seen the real reason? Like, this is a good idea because I've seen this and that, and I think this will be a good idea. You follow what I'm saying? Like,
no, absolutely. I mean, and that was the whole thing. Was we saw Aaron becoming discouraged, and,
right, there you go.
People sitting, whether it's employers or even different government agencies who feel that the blind would be just fine, stay at home, sit on the couch, collect your Social Security. Well, guess what? She was 22 years old. That's not a life.
That's right.
Okay, so when she said, "Okay, I want to start my own company, I want to do this," okay, then do your homework. Come to us with a plan. Don't just sit there and say, "Oh, let's do something." No. So she was able to research it, get all her, as we say, ducks in a row up here in the north. I don't know if they do down south, but they say it up here. Get your ducks in a row.
My mama says that. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so she had all that there, and she had her plans and what she wanted to do. I mean, it wasn't like, "Oh, here's just a bunch of money, Aaron, go have fun and do something."
Mm-hmm.
No. We had to make sure it was going to be viable. Her product was sound. Her business plan was sound. Everything that she was doing was sound before we ever did anything. So she knew she had to have a good attorney. She knew she had to have an accountant. She needed to get all the people in place before we ever roasted the first bean.
And I'm glad you said that because I want people to know that, hey, even though she's receiving help, this was her baby, her idea, and you know as her Father, you helped her get her dreams in order or focused and push, put it out there. And that's a good thing. And I hope really, man, that this definitely continues. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna say hope. I know that it is, because everybody drinks coffee, and the fact that how she is employing blind people and people who have other impairments, that's a good thing as well. So, man, I commend y'all. I know I said it so many times, I can't say it enough, because it is hard as hell trying to get people to hire you, and you have to prove yourself. So if you have the ability, man, go out and try to open up something, even if you start with icebergs, which was frozen cups or whatever, lemonade. Just start a business or something to the effect. I know it sounds trivial, but hey, you got to start from somewhere. Am I right, Aaron?
Absolutely. And I love that you referred to my business as my baby, because I do as well. Because my parents will sometimes say to me jokingly, just like, so what if someone wanted to buy you out for X amount of money? And I'm just like, I don't think I could do it. This is my baby.
That's good. That's a good thinking. That is good thinking, man. Y'all make me feel like part of the family, man. I want to, before I close, I want to again thank y'all. Look, so both of y'all, I'm gonna ask Aaron first. What do you all see? Actually, but what kind of advice for individuals who want to start their business and kind of are a bit reluctant to do so because they feel that it may not work? Give them some advice, some encouragements, or some words that they can use in order to make it happen, as you all have done.
Okay, first off, the idea comes easily. It's all of the work you have to do into it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy doing that work, but you got to do it if you want to be successful. And part of it is you gotta love it. It's hard, but you have to love it. Of it, each step you'll learn that it will get easier, but the more you love the work and the product and then how you are changing how other people see things, you will love it more, and it will inspire you to work harder.
And the other thing is, and the best advice I can give anyone is surround yourself with people who are there to help you.
And not just people who will say, that's a great idea, even if it's a terrible idea. You need people to sort of bounce ideas off of, on who will tell you that sometimes that's a dumb idea. Don't do that.
and you have that, but that's where you need honest people who have your best interests in heart. And we've said before, and like you said, it could be a lemonade stand. It could be setting up a coffee cart out in front of the courthouse or the local public library. We did the math on one of the public libraries up there, and we figured it out. A coffee cart in front of that library up there for a person working 5 days a week from 10 or from 8 to 2 or whatever in the day, that's a $50,000 a year job. Okay, now that sure beats making $800 a month on SSI and begging for every penny to survive, because that's all SSI is. It's survival, nothing more.
You're right about that, Bob. Man, hey, and we're gonna conclude on that, because that definitely makes sense. And I know I've spoken with a lot of visually impaired people who feel basically the same way, man. Look, I don't want to hold y'all too much. I appreciate you all coming back on here. Like, that's an update, y'all. Look, I'm telling you, don't ever feel that you can't do or whatever. If people, as I mentioned earlier, if they don't want to hire you, try something. That think of something that you like doing, and try to advocate it and get other people to believe in it. And if they don't, just continue your dream. And I want to thank Aaron for continuing her dream of creating white cane coffee. I need to go support it. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. Any last minute words that you would like to say, Aaron?
Well, thank you for having us, for one. We always love being on this podcast with you. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, like I said, tell people, like I said, by all means, go to whitecanecoffee.com. We believe in supporting the blind and the disabled. And we always say, every pound of coffee we sell that helps make jobs. And that's our ultimate goal here, is a great product, but also to provide employment. That's what it's all about to us.
Coffee with the cause.
Okay. All right. Well then, thanks again. And if there's anything that y'all can do, because I appreciate y'all supporting me. Y'all remember me from back in the day, for real, and this is for real. And y'all, I appreciate everything you shared and everything you earned. So with that being said, y'all, man, thanks for coming on. Y'all, please go support White Cane Coffee. White Cane Coffee. White Cane Coffee. Y'all heard me. If y'all, this is blind people doing it. So no reason for us to sit around and say, man, I just can't do it. I mean, I know, people's routes or people's directions may be a little different, but you can do it. And this is a prime example of someone that's actually doing things. So with that being said, thank you. And y'all come back again if y'all.
Bye.
Bye. As the music plays, y'all can just end it up. So there y'all have it, y'all.
How many viewers are you up to now, Anthony?
Huh?
How many viewers are you up to now?
Let me. I'll put something in the whole thing, and then we'll talk. Hold on.